Welcome to my second poster on developing new vectors and proximity measures to target large mineral deposits. In this case, it is for Olympic Dam-style hematitic IAGS in the Gawler Craton. The ideas were initiated in the southern parts of the craton, resulting in the Paris epithermal silver discovery within the Nankivell porphyry system. Paris Nankivell formed at the same time as the IAGS deposits, so my model for the Olympic metallogenic event has a spectrum of deposits forming on opposite sides of a collapsing megacaldera. A missing Olympic basin was proposed by McPhee et al. To explain the classic facies inclusions within the OD system. I believe the basin has been in plain sight the whole time as the lower Pandara formation, which has limited extent coincident with the known IAGS deposits. Took me to those conclusions was a conviction the early granodiorite at Paris Nankivell was part of the St. Peter subduction suite, and that the Paris dikes and Nankivell alunite were OD age, all subsequently proven by collaborative dating with the Geological Survey and University of South Australia. Now finally for some geochemistry. Scott Halley pointed out the zirconium-hafnium ratios of the mineralising rhyolites were indicative of a large mineral system. So I proposed a whole rock geochemical mixing model for progressive hydrothermal overprint on the country rocks, whether basement, pre-setting intrusives or coeval stratigraphy. In 2020, I proceeded to test the concept of a zircon alteration index as a measure of proximity to IAGS systems. By using the survey's appropriate geochemistry on drill holes around selected IAGS deposits on the Stuart Shelf south of Olympic Dam, they proposed a prospectivity index based on classic pathfinders. Their plots are interpreted to show that the prospectivity index is dependent on the degree of alteration and mimics mineralisation, whereas the zirconium and hafnium constituents of the ZAI provide a stable platform for what appears to be as progressive zirconium depletion across a wider range of alteration. At Winjabi, increasing ZAIs for country rock approaching mineralising dikes gave the first confidence in the ZAI alteration pathfinder, compared with the more random and mineralisation-dependent prospectivity index. Further support for stratigraphic and target proximity influences on the ZAI are seen at Emmy Bluff and Chianti prospects. At this point, the logs being used at Emmy Bluff did not describe the geology nor contacts as were expected for a simple relationship of an eroded basement and barren cover for the hydrothermal system at Emmy Bluff. So in 2022, I reviewed the available drill hole images and some core at Emmy Bluff and Oak Dam to decide the so-called basement sequence was a flat-lying stratigraphic profile comprising a pre-alteration basal clastic in a half-graben, then local chloritic and magnetite hematite sediments reflecting a Maya-like apron to the IAGS pipes, then a regional red shale marker of the peak OME when the breccia pipes formed and altered or incorporated the prior sediments of the Olympic Basin. This was followed by an immediate hematitic siltstone sag phase that preserved the IAGS mineralisation. I lithologically correlate the flat-lying sequence at Emmy Oak Dam with the lower Pandara formation as seen in the type hole Vanguard 1. Supporting evidence comes from various sedimentological studies of the Pandara, such as the geochemical profile in the type hole as shown. The lower Pandara, or Olympic Basin, and incorporated hematitic IAGS deposits all formed as much as 100 million years earlier than the true Karaloo Basin of the upper Pandara formation. These outcomes have significant ramifications for where and how to look for the next hematitic IAGS discoveries. The 4D tectono-stratigraphic framework offers geochemical, alteration, structural and sedimentary facies vectors for both regional and local targeting. The red shale marker in particular offers regional proximity measures, whether it is collapsed into the pipes as at OD Deeps and Oak Dam, eroded off as at Carapatina, or structurally messed up as at Prominent Hill. 6 target areas are nominated from the 2013 data and historic drill logs for follow-up. Potential field and MT geophysical anomalies or future surveying can be better prioritised with the new approach. Thanks again for your interest. I am available to discuss any questions, comments or detail you wish to see in this presentation. So I look forward to talking to you. Cheerio.